And that's what happened all the time. The test hasn't been done in London, but the results would almost certainly be much the same if it were. And perhaps it's not a bad thing, officially at least. Here the police say the best thing to do is make a note of what any attackers look like, then call them in as soon as possible.
Conservationists in California are at odds over a plan to save one of the world's rarest birds, the North American condor. There are only 6 left in the wild, and now they're being captured and protected in a zoo. But some experts say once they've been taken into captivity, the birds can never return to the wild.
With its 10-foot wingspan, the California condor is North America's largest land bird and one of its rarest. In prehistoric times, thousands of them used to soar over these mountains. Now, unlike their better-known Latin American cousins, California condors are almost extinct. Many have died of lead poisoning from feeding on the carcasses of animals shot by hunters, and pollution's also taken its toll. 21 birds are held in captivity at nearby zoos, where a breeding program's underway. But the controversial plan to trap the 6 left in the wild has angered conservation groups, who say it will prejudice the condor's chances of ever returning to its natural habitat, even despite special breeding techniques, like using condor puppets at feeding time. The struggle to save the condor has been eclipsed by the political battle raging over the rescue program. $9 million set aside to create a condor sanctuary has been frozen. Now the Federal Wildlife Service says the 6 birds left in the wilderness would never survive the winter. Other conservationists believe the mighty condor may never fly freely again.
A pop star who had a hit record 10 years ago has scored another hit in the world of dog breeding. His Afghan hound beat thousands of pedigree pets from all over Britain to win the Pup of the Year competition in London.
Prospective puppies of the year are hardly out of their baskets before they're into a routine of brush, comb and hairdryer. And it's not enough just to look appealing. To beat 8,500 other puppies to the final, you have to show off your pedigree and give no sign of wanting to bite the opposition. Today's winner, though, also testified to the virtue of a good dish of tripe. An Afghan called Viscount Grant, who wolfs 14 pounds of tripe a week and is the pride and joy of Liverpool pop singer Chris Amoo.
He's a personality. He's got a good personality, good character, and he's just a very good, he loves it. He loves to do it, you know.
You're in showbiz. Have you taught him anything about being in the public eye?
No, but I think that... Sit down, hey. I think that dogs tend to take on the personalities of their owners. And I just think he's flamboyant, you know, he loves it.
You to me are everything, sang the puppy's owner on his hit record. However, the Afghan apparently shows no appreciation whatsoever of his master's voice.
Oh, you to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing, oh baby, oh baby.
The lead singer of the group The Real Thing with his Top of the Pups.
And the main points of the news again. Britain's biggest defence order will bring shipyards in the northwest new jobs, but Scotland misses out.
President Reagan has refused to comment tonight on speculation that he may be planning a strike against Libya.
And Dustin G has died of a heart attack. Another victim, said Ernie Wise, of showbiz pressure. And that's the national and international news tonight. From John and me, good night.
Good evening to you. The weather's certainly chopping and changing. One day of rain, one day fine, and now tomorrow another day of rain as these fronts push in from the west. In fact, we can see the rain on the rainfall chart just coming into the west of Ireland. Have a closer look at that, almost coming up to the western coast of Ireland. And during the course of the night and into tomorrow, that rain works its way across just about all parts of the country. Now, I keep saying rain, but in actual fact, there may well be some sleet and snow mixed in with that as well. Clearer weather following along behind, but that doesn't last long because coming behind that, quite a packet of hefty showers. Anyhow, as far as this evening is concerned, 1 or 2 showers still left near to that eastern coast and in the north of Scotland, snow showers it is, but for most places a fine, dry, clear night, although later on in the night in western parts it will cloud over, and I think around daybreak you'll see the first of the rain and sleet showing up in Northern Ireland. A very cold night everywhere, a widespread sharp frost, although temperatures in Northern Ireland tending to rise later on in the night. Tomorrow many places actually starting off dry and bright with some sunshine. But we will have that rain and sleet in Northern Ireland to begin with, and during the course of the morning I think we're going to find that many western parts cloud over, and eventually in western Scotland, parts of Wales and western England you'll have some rain coming along, that rain preceded by a short period of sleet or snow, and then into the afternoon that working its way into a good part of Scotland, into most northern and western parts of England and Wales, and again that rain preceded by an hour or two, say, of snow, and then fairly readily turning to rain I think in most places. But there may be some areas where it doesn't turn to rain, and there could be some problems over the hilly parts, say the Yorkshire moors, up into southern Scotland, the mountains of Scotland especially. I think some fairly heavy falls of snow there, and that snow drifting because the wind will be freshening up. And later on in the day I think you'll get a fair bit of snow in the northeastern corner of Scotland as well. The southeastern part of England actually staying dry until into the evening, and the far north of Scotland, that's the Northern Isles, reasonably bright throughout. Later on in the day too, some brighter weather coming into Northern Ireland, brighter that is, and drier with it. A cold day again, you're going to notice it in eastern parts of the country, especially as the wind freshens up, but eventually temperatures touching around the normal in the west, 7 Celsius being 45 Fahrenheit. Now, if you are going further afield this weekend, for instance, if you're going winter sports in the Alps, I think you're going to find quite a lot of snow. In fact, some wintry showers coming into the British Isles during the course of Sunday, and a rather wintry scene actually over many northern and eastern parts of Europe. Cold weather with a fair bit of snow around. The Mediterranean somewhat warmer, not necessarily particularly settled, that is unless you're heading to the east towards Greece. Nice weather there.
Saturday night entertainment on BBC One. At 5:20, the Cranky's electronic comic. Among the guests, the great Soprendo and Alvin Stardust. Noel Edmonds takes a late breakfast at 5 to 6, and at 6:45, in place of the laughter show, Michael Crawford stars in Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. At 7:20, a new drama serial, Strike It Rich.
Somewhere out there are at least a dozen people whose lives will never be the same again. Not one of them has the slightest idea it's going to happen.
And at 8:10, the two Ronnies.
I'm off down to Pig and Whistle tonight.
Oh, I've never been down there. How far is that?
Well, it's about 4 miles, but if you hurry, you can do it in 2.
At 9:15, Michael Caine stars in The Swarm.
Oh, my God, bees, millions of bees.
Bees?
The horror movie at 11:10 tells 4 tales of the macabre and the bizarre that witness madness. Saturday night entertainment on BBC One.
Those two soulmates, Starsky and Hutch, turn in their badges but don't throw down their guns at 11 here on BBC One in the second part of a story in which they find there's no escape from the deadly web of corruption they've uncovered. And there's gun-toting now on BBC One as the smoke of munitions mingles with that of cigars, sported by Clint Eastwood, the man with no name who sets his sights on a fistful of dollars.